How's it going? We're back at J&B Tackle again, and we're going to be looking at rigging some baits for big fluke today. And one of the things, especially with regulations changing and trying to catch larger fluke just to be legal, we need to be able to present bigger baits for bigger fish. But presenting a bigger bait a lot of times presents a problem. You need to make sure the bait's rigged properly so that it doesn't spin. So we've grabbed a mackerel here to demonstrate, like a mackerel fillet or a large strip bait. If we take the mackerel and you just fillet it to get a mackerel fillet, now you could do this with like a bluefish or any other fish and get a large strip bait out of it, but this just gives us an example of what we can use here. So now we've got a nice mackerel fillet for a bait. And if we're gonna hook this and we hook it like up in here, it leaves all this bait for the fish to get in its mouth before it actually gets to the hook. So that's where you'd want to use a stinger hook or something, to help present this bait more natural and get your hook farther towards the fish. Because if you put a hook back here, the bait's going to do this and it's going to bend, and then it's going to end up spinning in the water and become like a helicopter. There's a bunch of different rigs like this on the market, but we tie up one here. We call it our doormat rig, and it's just an adjustable hook, 2-hook rig, where this upper hook is snelled on the main line. And I can pull this, we snell it down pretty tight. I can adjust this hook, and now I'm moving it. So what I want to do is lay this out next to my bait and figure out how I want it hooked. And that's not too bad there because I don't have to be real specific on the fillet, but I'm going to put...
And I was going to ask, is there a difference in which way the narrower...
Well, I want this...
How do you want that to swim?
When guys are putting bait on, fluke are not scavengers. They're looking for an active swimming bait. They're very discriminatory on that, especially the bigger ones. So you want this to go through the water as natural as possible. And usually when a fish is going through, he's not going to go through with his backwards with his fat part. So I'm actually rigging this fillet backwards because it's going to look more natural like a fish going through the water. The pointed end, I'm going to put this hook in one, and then I'm going to bring this down and leave just a little bit of slack in there. And that way, if I had a nice firm bait, that would pull up like that, and you'd end up with you got one hook back here farther and this one right up in the tip. And now I can adjust this hook and I can move this hook back farther. But the trick is you want to be pulling from this upper hook. See how nice and straight it stays? And that's what you're looking for, is a bait that's going to stay straight like that and fish in the water. These were some baits that we had defrosted and we left out for a little while, so they're not as firm as they should be. One thing you can do to help prevent that is, like we learned this from the offshore guys, is use a little bit of kosher salt or some brine and brine up the bait so that it stays nice and firm.
Hey, if you enjoyed the video, please support the channel and subscribe. Until next time, enjoy your adventures.